Hello, thank you for tuning into another episode of Take 10 on Tuesday with the Tennessee Tribune. I'm Jason Luntz. Today I invited someone that needs to talk to us about something very important in our community. I'm here with Dr. Katherine Y. Brown of Learn CPR America. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm great. I came across your name and I've been hearing about you, and I know that CPR is something I've heard about since I was a little kid. And I've had a chance, I was a camp counselor at the YMCA, I've had a chance to learn a little bit about it, but it does seem that not a lot of people in our community are aware of it. So I wanted to invite you here so we can tell our audience some more things about it, and also some of the things that you're doing to help spread the word on that and some other issues.
Okay, very good.
Great. So before we jump into what you're doing, can you tell us a little bit about CPR and why is there a lack of knowledge of it?
CPR stands for Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation. Right now in the United States, every 90 seconds someone dies from sudden cardiac arrest, and less than 1/3 of those people are going to survive because bystanders are not recognizing it or not responding. And so right now it's really important for Nashville because research is showing that the survival rate from cardiac arrest in Nashville, Tennessee is only 5%. Tennessee is the volunteer state.
Yes.
I know we can do better with our numbers. And particularly when you begin to look at the African American community and certain zip codes. And I just don't believe that your zip code should determine whether you live or die.
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole push with CPR, it started in Chicago.
Okay.
In a lot of underserved communities. I was working at an inner city hospital, and I kept saying, why is it that people from certain zip codes don't make it to discharge? They die. And the research proved that because we were not initiating CPR. So we opened up the first freestanding CPR company on Chicago's South Side. And through that work, I was blessed to have the opportunity to travel nationwide to do CPR for organizations like the Lynx and Alpha Kappa Alpha, 100 Black Women, Jack and Jill, just different sororities, Delta Sigma Theta, you name it. I've probably done CPR for them. So why is CPR important? Because we're not surviving.
Wow.
And it only takes 4 to 6 minutes to suffer irreversible brain damage. So basically, if it takes on average an ambulance 7 to 13 minutes to get to you,
Yes.
but only 4 to 6 minutes before you suffer irreversible brain damage,
You're done.
absolutely, it's no quality of life. So all we have been trying to do, I do 2 sides of CPR. One is certification, and that's what your healthcare providers, daycares, churches, organizations, families, they just want to be certified. It's a 2-year certification. I teach CPR through the American Heart Association.
And so through the American Heart Association, but this is through your company, Learn CPR America?
Learn CPR America.
Okay, and
absolutely.
Then, so daycares and places where caregivers hire your company, and you come in and certify them.
Absolutely, and do certifications.
So that's one part of what you do.
One part of what I do.
Okay.
And the other part of what I do is our community outreach initiative. And so with that, I am so abstract with CPR. If you're in a park, I will walk up to a group of guys that are playing basketball and throw a mannequin and be like, "What's up? Do you know what to do?" And I'll show them right there. I've done door knocking campaigns for CPR. Right down the street from here, there's a motorcycle club. I walked in the middle of the motorcycle club with a mannequin randomly and said, "Would you all know what to do if I went into cardiac arrest?"
Wow.
And they were thinking, that takes some guts to walk in here.
Yeah.
But cardiac arrest doesn't discriminate. Cardiac arrest doesn't say I'm in a motorcycle bar or I'm in a housing project. It comes when it's going to come. And so the only way I felt for me to get my message out there is to go places that I'm not expected. I've actually stood on the corner of Jefferson Street with a sign, me and my 4 children, and the sign says, "Honk if you know CPR. If you don't, pull over and I will teach you." And we stand on the corner, and my kids are 23, 16, 15, and 8. And then I told the stork to stop coming back because I just can't.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Right? But oh my gosh, so we just stand on the corner. I go in churches. It doesn't matter because again, we're 5%. The numbers are not good. And if we just did bystander CPR, which is hands only, pushing hard and fast in the center of the chest, we could double and in some instances triple survival rates.
Double and triple survival rates.
Absolutely.
So Learn CPR America is doing some good things I see that there's a profit angle to it because you're being hired, but you're also like really jumping into the community.
I've done 250,000 people for free in the community. And starting out, there were companies that were larger, that had more money, that could do that. But it was just so important to me to give back. And one incident, it always comes to my mind, is that I would do home visits. So you could call me and say, hey, Dr. Katherine, I don't have the money to come to your office. I can't get transportation. I would go to people's houses. One time it was 2 a.m. and I went to somebody's house to teach CPR. At this time it was maybe $42 for a class. So we did the class, great class. It came time to pay. And the boyfriend put a gun to my head and said they were not going to pay for the CPR class.
What?
And I was thinking, if you would have asked me for the card,
you would have did it.
I'd have given it to you. And so you think about, sometimes people, you're giving your heart to be out there for people, and bad things can happen. But that incident actually turned out to be good, because 3 weeks later the girl came back to my office and she said, God told me that nothing I did would prosper if I didn't come and give you this money back. And she wound up being one of my strongest volunteers. So you talk about forgiveness.
Yes.
I just felt like that was an act of desperation for me to have a gun put to my head for a CPR card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so anyway, that's what I'm saying. We would do home visits. Sometimes if a mother is pregnant, I say, listen, the grandparents, the aunts, nieces, everybody need to be trained in CPR. And I'll go into the house, and she's mommy and me classes, and it's the whole family, and they learn CPR. I've done family reunions. You name it.
Family reunions, that's a good idea. Think about that next time. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I see, you're definitely community driven, which leads me to my next question. I know that you also have a nonprofit too. Now, what's the name of the nonprofit, and how much is that related to CPR or other health issues?
So the Roberta Baines Wheeler Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Group.
Pulmonary hypertension
awareness.
Is that like high blood pressure?
In the lungs.
High blood pressure in the lungs?
Yeah, so very different. And so that's named after my mother, who actually just passed on November 5th.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you so much. And so basically she was a nurse and a medical professional for 40 years. But we had not heard of pulmonary hypertension until it kind of knocked at our door. And so in that, with her being hospitalized at different times and misdiagnosed, I would talk to other families. And I began to keep a journal of all their stories. And one time we didn't think she was going to make it. Actually, my mother went into cardiac arrest on the cardiac intensive care unit. The resident froze, and I had to initiate CPR to help save her life, which is why I tell people it's great to trust medical professionals, but trust yourself too.
Yes.
You can do it. So anyway, this journal, and they said you should start something in your mother's honor. So Vanderbilt is absolutely amazing in that I went to them with this idea, and they said, if you like it, you have to navigate that ship. They weren't going to fund it, but they would give me the room. And so we had the first Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Day conference, and I thought 30 people would come. 150 people came, and we did free seminars. So it was medical providers, caregivers, patients, and the community to learn what this word is. Because every time I say pulmonary hypertension, people say hypertension. Not the same thing. And so if we're not even speaking the right language, or people are diagnosed and they don't know what it is, then that's a problem. So we just started this whole awareness push. The second year, it was great. We did it at the Wellness and Recreation Center at Vanderbilt, and I thought we'd have maybe 100 people. We had 400 people that came out. It was the first Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Walk in Nashville, and then we did another one. We had 500 people. So at this awareness day that we do every year, which is through the nonprofit, we do free blood pressure screening, glucose testing. Meharry dental students do dental screenings. We do, just tons of health information. We do CPR education for free. We have a literacy cafe, because if I don't teach children about literacy, they won't grow up with literacy nor health literacy. That's
important. And speaking of children, I know there was also something really big you're doing with the nonprofit in a group of young adults or teenagers.
Teenagers. Yeah. So that's the Dr. Katherine Y. Brown Leadership Academy. And our entire focus is so exciting. We are building the capacity of women for global leadership. And how do you build global leaders if you don't take them out the country.
Whoa! So you're taking people somewhere? We
So
going on a road trip?
Definitely road trip. So we meet once a quarter. And we have intense leadership modules. It's always measured, a lot of metrics in there. So they learn about, who am I? What is my brand? They have a legislative awareness day that they will be doing where they will go and learn about the different branches of government.
Oh, great.
But how the branches of government work for an issue that's important to them.
Yes.
Because we got to stop making visits with elected officials as a photo op. You got a photo, but you don't even know what the person does.
Yes, you got to find out. That makes sense. And so, what is the next move with the young
girls?
people? Yeah, the girls. Yeah.
So right now we're doing the last phase of our fundraising initiative. Our goal this year in March is to take them to Colombia, South America. They'll be doing research and service learning. And then several months after that, we've invited the girls from Colombia that they will be working with to Nashville, Tennessee, to see about how Nashville is innovative, because Columbia is very innovative.
Yes.
So then they can come to Nashville and learn about why we're the it city and we're innovative and we have women in leadership and health disparities that we're addressing. So they're going to be able to do research there, and then they'll do a research project here.
And the last question on that is CPR play a part in anything? Are they going to do anything?
Absolutely, yes. So our service project in Colombia is going to be to do free CPR in the underserved community over there. So we're going to go over there, and all of our girls, we train them on how to be youth CPR ambassadors with Learn CPR America. So they're volunteers, like I'm a volunteer when we're doing that work, and we do it in the name of RBW. So when we do the Roberta Baines Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness, we do free CPR. And right now, we're the only nonprofit in the state that is committed to pulmonary hypertension awareness.
The only one in Tennessee.
Other people, they talk about, but they're not really how we're going out and we're saying, hey, you have pulmonary hypertension. Do you have a specialist? Are you getting the right medications? They're free resources. We're really trying to connect the people to the physicians. And we're all volunteers. We take no salaries at all. It's just about getting the education and even medical equipment.
Wow.
What people don't know is a lot of people in our community we found have gotten urinary tract infections because they can't afford a $20 pack of adult diapers. So we're telling people, I know you're doing diaper drives, but you need some adult diaper drives too. And here's some resources for people to get free medical equipment. So
a lot of health issues.
A lot of health issues.
Well, I want to, since you are dealing with some health issues, I know that you got the doll here, and I was wondering maybe you could show me a little CPR.
Absolutely.
You can?
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, Dr. Brown, you're gonna just give me a quick, and our viewers a quick example of how to actually perform CPR.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. One thing I want to make sure that I say is like this simple mathematical equation: death plus death equals death.
Yeah.
Death plus CPR gives people a chance at survival. So your actions can only help.
Okay.
So what we're going to learn today, we're not going to focus on that rescue breath. We're going to focus on two simple steps: recognizing that it's emergency, calling for
help.
And what number?
911.
911. Yeah. And we're going to push hard and fast in the center of the chest.
Okay.
So we recognize the victim. We just want to say, hey, are you okay?
You okay? Hakeem, what's up? Get up.
All right, so they're not breathing, they're not responding. We don't see any chest rise and fall.
No.
We want to call
911.
And then we're going to push hard and fast on the center of the chest. Heel of the hand, center of the chest here, and we're pushing. And it's about 100 compressions in a minute. And so if I gave you the beat, staying alive, push, 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 staying alive, that would be it. And you're pushing about 2 inches deep. All right, so give it a try.
It does have a nice beat.
Yeah.
Now this hand right here.
Absolutely.
And then it's like this.
Yeah. Push hard. Perfect. Staying alive, push, 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 push.
Stay alive. All right. Stay alive. It makes
Don't let
sense.
the chorus get good to you. The chorus almost got you. When you
Yeah, it almost got me.
Like, don't let the chorus get you.
No, it's okay. So that's it. And basically, what are we doing? We're helping the heart get moving again?
Right. So for whatever reason, the heart is not circulating the oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. So your hands are really the difference between life and death. That's doing for the heart what it can't do for itself. So you want to push hard. right in the center of that chest, in the center of the sternum. So that's what you're doing. You're circulating that oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. On average, an adult that collapses has 7 minutes of oxygen in the bloodstream.
7 minutes. So there's already 7 minutes of oxygen in there, so you're helping
circulate
again until the paramedics can come.
Absolutely. And just don't stop. If you get tired, you can tell a bystander to come over, and you can actually tell them to do exactly what you are doing.
Okay.
And it helps. We left the shirt down on this one. In a traditional class, we would lift the shirt up.
Okay.
But we felt the center of the chest. So.
Yeah, I did feel it. And when people are experiencing this, do they have people actually come to then, or normally?
Absolutely. And there's some great videos out there where you can see people, they'll be like, I lived in a rural area and they did compression only CPR for 45 minutes and I'm here to tell the story. So people do survive. You know, that's why I go back to that equation. Death plus death equals death.
We really appreciate you taking out your time today.
All right, thank you.
And once again, you've been tuning into Take 10 on Tuesday with the Tennessee Tribune. I'll see you next time.